From the beginning, we were wrong, and only now, well into the second decade of the conflict, have we begun to understand the mistakes we have made. We lived in harmony among the Fae, in a world awakened to new magic. Perhaps we should have foreseen what might be born on this rising tide. What force might awaken. A force powerful enough to twist even the eternal and immutable Fae folk. But Gadflow, the new king of the Winter Court, surprised us all. Singular among his people, he was all that other Fae were not. Aggressive, ambitious, visionary. He had power like none we had ever seen, terrible and deadly. Gadflow and his followers, the Tuatha Deohn, believed that a new god was to be born in the east, beneath Gadflow's crystalline fortress of Amathen. In the name of that god, they marched to war against the young races of Amalur. Against a mortal army, no matter the power of their god, we might have been victorious. But the Fae are creatures of magic, not bound by the laws of life and death. Each Tuatha fallen on the battlefield would soon rise again, for the Fae do not know death as we do. How could we stand against such a force? For 10 years the war raged. For 10 years the armies of men and Alpha fought and died. But as our numbers dwindled, we knew that it was only a matter of time. Our fate had been written. At least, that is what we believed. Until you died.
What do you think this one is then? Alpha? Garani? Could even be a Jotun. Always a surprise, eh, Garan?
Eyes on the job, boy. Don't matter what it is. Dead's dead. And be thankful for that. All we've seen. Go on and pull back the sheet, though. It'll need to be in our report, one way or the other. One of the Varani women. Must have followed a mercenary band over. Maybe one of them herself. Doesn't much matter now. Fared pretty well, though. All right, then. Make sure it goes into the report. You know he'll want all the details.
Amazing how well the body held up. Better than I've seen.
I'm just glad it's not moving. Must have been born under a lucky star, this one.
Anything else we need?
Unless you'd like to name her, I think we're done. Put her with the others.
Well, that's it for you then. Better luck next time.
Anybody!
You! Up there, please help me!
More
please!
mortal scum? No. You'll all die.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. If you hadn't come along, Wait. I've seen you before. On the slab. You were dead. It worked. By the tome, it worked. You're alive. You died. I don't know how or even where. But your body was remade in the Well of Souls, and somehow it worked. The well restored your soul to your body, and it worked. We must get you to Professor Hugues right away. He'll have questions for you. Oh, no doubt. But we must get to Hugues. He'll be in his study on the ground floor. The Tuatha are coming in through the lower levels. If we hurry, we should be able to beat them to the top. Take these. They'll help keep you safe long enough to get to Hugues. Now, let's get going! He'll be in his study on the ground floor of the tower. At least, I hope he's there. And safe. Let me get this door, and we can be on our way. Right this way. You go first.
What a bastard! Wait, you're not one of them. Ansel, yet alive! And who's this?
That's what I intend to find out. She came out of the well.
What? And she meant to get inside to see the old man. Quick, before those Tuatha make another push.
This is where we part ways. But take whatever you want from this armory. We might have a few things that would fit you. Just make sure you get to Hugues. We can hold off the Tuatha here. There's nothing more I can do except to stay here and slow down the Tuatha. But this is the armory, after all. Check the chests. We might have a few things that would fit you. With luck, I'll see you on the outside. I'll see you on the outside.
You've made it, and look at you. Even with all you've been through. The Tuatha, your return from the dead. Please forgive me. You must be terribly confused by all of this. I am Fomorous Hugues, and this is my laboratory at Alistar. Everything you see here is dedicated to one thing, the Well of Souls, the pursuit of immortality. And you're my first success. If we only had the time, there's so much we might learn from one another. Too much to explain right now. The Tuatha have come to stop my work, but I don't believe they know about you. Not yet. What's important is getting you out of here safely. You're the only proof of what we've achieved here. I may not be able to save the well, but I can ensure that its only success is safe. Yes, you're right. I've got my notes, but it's most important that you stay safe. It's just that you're... Wait, where are you going? Fascinating. Simply astounding. I'm not certain what's caused it, but somehow... yes, as I was saying, I'm not sure what... Perhaps I should go see.
Sir! Mr. Hugues! The Tuatha have reached the lab! They're inside the lab!
No! We've got to get you out of here now! Quickly! Follow the path to the town of Gorhart. Find Agarth. He's a friend, and he may be able to help. No matter what else, stay alive!
You've come from the tower, haven't you? Name's Agarth. Maybe you can help an old Fateweaver, eh?
Did he?
Poor old Fomorous Hugues. He respected the way the world works. What a shame. He's probably dead by now. When he started his experiments here, he asked me if they'd ever be successful. The cards told me that the Well of Souls would work, but its success would come on the day that Hugues was to die. The old man took it pretty well, honestly, although we did a lot of drinking after that. I suppose I could spare a little help in memory of Hugues, or in celebration of his success. Whichever. You're the one. Then that means it all makes sense now. The cards this morning. I drew the Gravedigger, the Running Man, and the Beast. Prepare yourself. They're coming.
Feel Tirnoch wrath.
What? How? What are you? The threads of fate. I've seen them before, but I've never seen anyone manipulate them like that. You just changed how the world was supposed to work. How did you do that? You just... Fate is the will of the gods. No mortal should be able to change it. How is that even possible? Come here. I'm going to do a reading. You might be able to change the threads, but fate will still have a plan for you. I promise not to tell you if I see your death. That would be my guess. He was an academic, but he had a proper respect for fate's plan, unlike most gnomes. You're nervous. Relax. This is what Fateweavers do. I'll be seeing your place in the pattern of destiny. Who you are, what you've done, where your path takes you. Or, at least, I should be. You're real, right? I swear I haven't had that much... I am. But still, I've never seen someone whose fate was just missing. Not even when I was drunk as the King of Ballads. This doesn't make sense. All mortal creatures have a place in the pattern. You should have one too, dead or not. If this is true, and I'm not saying I believe it, then your path is yours to determine. It could mean nothing, or it could mean everything. The world is changing. You might be a sign of that, or maybe the cause. I've never had a reason to doubt my own readings, but we should consult with Arden. He's not a friend, but he's got a good eye for the tapestry. I'll meet you at his home to the east. I'm going to see if I can be of any help to the wounded at the tower. That's just it. I don't know if you've got one, but that's why we're going to see Arden. He lives in a little hut to the east in Yulven. I'll meet you there. What could this all mean? Still here, huh? Can't quite decide what could this all mean.
Interesting. You're not at all what I expected to find here. I trailed a band of Tuatha to this place. They killed the Fateweaver. I was hoping his corpse would give me an idea of why they were here. Now I know. They were hoping to find you. Knowing you, You're definitely involved, but something tells me I know you better than you knew yourself. Don't you remember me? I'm hurt. No time for introductions now. The Tuatha are still on the move. I'm certain that we'll see one another again. Soon. Be on your way.
What happened here? Arden's dead. How did this happen? Why would they have come here? Why kill a harmless old Fateweaver? They couldn't know that you were headed here. I mean, the stingy bastard owes me a week of drinks. Doesn't mean he deserved to be murdered. I was hoping to avoid this, but I think I'm going to have to take you to Deloch. It's a sacred place to we Fateweavers. Somewhere that I was hoping to avoid. I was hoping Arden could take you, but I guess it comes down to me. No reason getting anyone else killed over it. Go, I'll meet you there. Once I give Arden a proper funeral. This is twice now I've buried the bodies left in your wake. It's good you're here. I was beginning to think you were just something I saw in the bottle. Welcome to the ruins of Deloch. We'll see soon enough. Deep below us is the Theater of Fate, where the immortals taught man, alpha, and gnome to read the destiny of the world. Come with me. Maybe I am crazy, but not about this. It's the ruins of the Theater of Fate. This is where the first Fateweavers learned how to read the weave. They left their wisdom behind in the Destiny Stone. I'm hoping that the stone will tell me who you are. In we go. We're almost there, or at least as far as I can take you. I've seen this moment. I'm sorry, my friend. This is as far as I can take you. I'm still alive. He was supposed to... Do you have any idea what you've done? What sort of power you're playing with? You absorbed everything he was, everything he would do. You changed the weave of destiny itself. Because of you, there are deeds he won't do. Children of his that won't be born. Victims that won't die when they were supposed to. Yes, I'm aware. But there's still no telling what damage you could do if you aren't careful. You're much more dangerous than I thought. We need to get you to the Theater of Fate right away. We Fateweavers never fully understood the power of this place. Seems there's a lot we don't understand. Gods, I should have brought another bottle. No surprise that Niskaru found its way to this place of power. Everything about these ruins is dedicated to this room, and at the center of it all is the Destiny Stone. With it, the Fae taught the Fateweavers the answers to the deepest mysteries of fate. Put your hands on the stone, and maybe we can find answers to your own mysteries. Just put your hand on the Destiny Stone. It'll show me where you fit into the tapestry of fate. The Destiny Stone came apart at your touch. And all around you, the tapestry of fate, unweaving itself. And there at the core was the Codex of Destiny. The wisdom that the Fae used to help the first Fateweavers understand the nature of the weave. Don't you see what this means? Ah! A small price to pay for the Codex of Destiny. If we can find a way to read that, it might help us understand something about you. But for now, just understand this. You're changing the fate of everyone you meet. That could make you more powerful than anything that's walked this world. As dangerous as an open flame. You could help people or destroy them entirely. When you get involved, there's no grand cosmic plan. Only freedom, and all the dangers that come with it. And that means I owe you, Wait. What's that?
Purge the abomination! In the name of Godflaw!
This looks like some fun.
Who are you? How do we know you're not working with the Tuatha?
I don't care if you trust me. I'm much more interested in your friend here. I'm beginning to think that these Tuatha don't like you. Now why do you think that might be? After all, someone who can change the fate of the world, who wouldn't want you? Enough to know you're something special. Far more interesting than you were before you died. And that's saying quite a bit. Now it's my turn. What are you doing here? Ha! Knowing the future is for fools. Who reads the end of a book before it's time? Save your attention for the present. Like that codex you found? Our scholars thought those were all gone from the world. But you're just full of surprises. Good luck understanding it. That's Fae knowledge. They don't even have a written language. The stone is simply embedded with what they know, unseeable to mortals. Normally, I'd suggest looking in Issa, but the Fae are not fond of unexpected guests. But don't look so sad. There's still hope. When you're ready, meet me at the House of Ballads. Be on your way.
We can't trust her. Never met a Darkelfar who'd give me a straight answer, even with a sword at their throat. But she wasn't wrong about that codex. Just be careful doing anything she suggests. Meanwhile, we can't just ignore the Tuatha that are tracking you. We need to do something about them. She said they came through Didenhill, didn't she? They don't belong in these lands, so they probably left a trail wide as an Eden's backside. Meet me there, and we'll track them down. Maybe we can find out why they're after you. Or at least how they can find you so easily. I've got some final rites to perform before I leave this place. Good luck.
Glynel, I assure you it's an ancient codex, just like in the tales.
Intriguing. And why would such a thing be revealed to a child of dust?
And here I was beginning to think that you'd never show up. This is Glynel, Lore Master of the House of Ballads. Give the Codex over to him, and he may have your answers. Lore Master Glynel has devoted centuries to the study of lore and ancient Fae stories. The Codex you found isn't just any lore stone. Just talk to him, and I'm sure he'll be able to shed some light on the issue. Be on your way.
You must be Lady Shear's friend. He speaks very highly of you. An occasion rare enough to be worth recording in its own right. But let's see this Codex. The fabled Codex of Destiny. When the Fateweavers formed their order, our High King gave his own wisdom to assist them. To have such knowledge in your hands is a tremendous gift, but why did it reveal itself to you? Nonsense. All children of dust have a story that is written before you see your first dawn. Now, I can only make out some parts, but this is odd. The Codex speaks of an exception, a void, an end to the endless. This is simply too much. The High King would never pawn such absurdity off as wisdom. I'm sure you think it is. I fear you must have been taken in by a forgery. A perfectly created one, perhaps, but a forgery nonetheless. But this Codex speaks of impossible things, changes to fate, death of the immortals and other heresies. To ascribe these lies to the High King would be... I'm sorry, but I must ask you to take it away. I will have no part in these lies. It had a meaning to it. Only its author could tell you. Do not bother me with such foolishness again.
Lionel spends his life cherishing old stories, but show him something truly new, and he dismisses it. Tragic. First of all, we ignore this fool. Most Fae aren't comfortable with change, and you are certainly something new. I'm afraid that only one person will really be able to help us with the Codex. The High King himself. Titarian isn't like other Fae. I'm sure he'd be interested in you, even if you didn't have that Codex. The only problem will be meeting him. His court is in the city of Issa, and few mortals are permitted to enter its gardens. I do know one individual who can allow you to enter, but you'll have to meet him alone. Nerolim is more of a what than a who. You'll understand when you meet him. With any luck, he'll be more favorably disposed to you than he is to me. He's bound to be curious at least. You'll find him in southeast Dalentarth, at Caer Nerolim. Just head towards the giant tree and, well, you'll see. You'll have to meet him on your own. I'd accompany you, but Nerolim and I have our disagreements. Good luck with Nerolim, and ignore anything he says about me.
The Curious One seeks a way to the Fae, but it has found its way to the boughs of the World Tree instead. Rest, Quickling, and I may study you. My roots spread wide and deep, and I have heard what brought you here, but I cannot see where you go hence. The time of the Fae is passing. I must shelter them in their twilight and protect them from the corruption that spreads in their kin to the east. The gardens of fate are clear to me, and all that ever shall be are visible in its blooms. Issa's end has always been certain. Buried beneath Prismere blades, I can only hold back the tide. But you, perhaps you can change the currents. Where you tread, you mark all you touch. Before I would help you, I must know. Will you be a kind gardener, or a careless reaper? Yes, but will it be for the better? I cannot stop you from trying, but perhaps I can guide your efforts. A tribe of trolls has been corrupted with Prismere. Their matriarch, Nash, has united the clans in the first step on the path of Dalentarth's demise. You can change this fate, but to what? In doing so, you may awaken a more dangerous threat. like your ally, Aelin Shear. She walks a deep and tangled path, one that you walked alongside her before your death. But your path is your own now. Defeat Nash. Remove the taint of Prismere. Then I shall see who you are. If not, who you will become. The troll matriarch and her brood await at Haxi. Their corruption burns my roots and threatens our future. Walk your path and watch your ally.
I thought I'd find you here. If you were anyone else, I'd say it was destiny. But in this case, it was that damned tree. He's got roots and branches all through this forest. He said we should walk this path together. Thought I could help you, or maybe that you could help me. I've never met Nash. Trolls and Darkwolfar rarely invite each other to tea. But if she's matriarch of a clan, you can be sure that she's strong. And if she's so corrupted that Neeralim is nervous about her, then she must pose a bigger threat than most trolls. Let's not keep Nash waiting. Prismere, what have the Tuatha done to her? Nice work. I see you haven't forgotten how to handle yourself in a fight. Still, this is bad. I didn't think the Tuatha would reach this far. At least not so soon. Aren't I always? But have patience. For now, why not take comfort in knowing that you saved Neeralim and his forest? Go, talk to the tree. I'm sure he'll allow you into Issa. I'll stay here and finish off any remaining Tuatha. You can tell the old mossy log yourself. I'll be tracking down any other Tuatha that may have come this far west. I'll find you again when the time is right.
You return, and in your wake, Dalentarth blossoms. The flow is rearranged, now and forever. Nash's brood is at an end. You have destroyed what was written, and made a new fate for Dalentarth. Even your darkest ally walks a lighter path. And yet the Tuatha still spread, marching with Prismere and pain. You have only delayed our doom. You have the power of an immortal, and yet the humility to ask for help. Little one, I envy your grace. You shall carry my blessings with you. You must know this, Quickling. The age is changing. Immortals are passing, and the future belongs to the young races. If there is a future to be had. Go, and stand at the heart of the She. There you will find Issa, and perhaps you will find wisdom as well. Only the path of your own choosing. Stand at the heart of the She, and if that path includes the gardens of Issa, I shall allow it. May your path be long and evergreen.
Ah, the castle. This tells me that your tavern will be a part of Loch Dyden for decades to come?
Last month you told me that the plague would take us all.
I know, but that's not what fate says anymore.
Damn it, Agarth. You're cut off.
Yeah, and I bet I know whose fault that is. It's your fault that I can't pay my tab, you know? I wasn't ever supposed to come back here in the first place. I've spent the last 20 years knowing what fate had in store for me, and then you... Damn it. I thought I had my life figured out. Not for a Fateweaver, it isn't. But that's just the problem. When I was young, I thought I could overcome anything. Now, I know otherwise. I fought beasts the size of trees, was celebrated by mortals and Fae alike. When I was initiated into the Fateweavers, I thought it was a reward for my good deeds. The first time I saw my own fate, I realized it was nothing but a curse. My own death, of course. But not a hero's death as I had always dreamed. I was going to die alone and unknown, killed by an Etin and used for stew. It was a terrible end, but I knew it was part of fate's greater plan. Then you came and changed that future. You stole my part in the tapestry. I was at peace with knowing the worst. But what do I do now that there's nothing to know? You're right. My glory days don't have to be over, and as long as I'm around you, I don't know how my story will end. That means I've got to make sure you stay around in one piece. Maybe this old trinket from my youth will help. After all, I don't just owe you my life. I owe you my future. Why, I once tracked the Yeth of Avgrun on a moonless night by smell alone. Fae or not, I could have tracked those Tuatha sober. They've set up in a cavern north of town, complete with some way of scrying your location. That's how they found you so easily. I have a plan, but it'll take the both of us to work. These soldiers were sent out with one purpose: finding you and making sure you stay dead. Everything else, the Well, Arden, Hugues, have all been collateral damage. They're using something big to track you. They call it the Eyes of Tirnoch. Smash it, and they won't be following you anymore. The main entrance is heavily guarded and will require a strong attack. The other route is trapped. It'll need a subtler approach. Straightforward and direct. A warrior after my own heart. I'll cover the back and make sure they can't escape to report back to whoever sent them here. Let's track down some trouble. This is the front entrance. You'll face their strongest guards, so it's no place for subtlety. Find their scrying mirror and smash it. I'll slip in the back and make sure none of them escape. I don't have an answer for that. I can't imagine what about you made Gadflow send his troops across the continent. His army is locked in a siege in Cluricon, but small groups sometimes make their way to Erithal. I don't think they've ever been this far inland. We're here. Not until you smash those mirrors. It'll keep them from tracking you all over Dalentarth.
The undying mortal has grown tired of running, has she? Decided to fight back? Can you tell me the difference between a creature of nature and a child of dust like yourself? We children of nature know our roles. Meek and mighty, prey and predators, life and death, all serve the cycle. You children of dust do not know your place. You come into our land. You come to face your hunters. And you don't know when to die. No mortal, perhaps, but I am Gadflow, blessed herald of the merciful Tirnoch, our army shall cleanse the world of your mortal imperfection. And you, all mortals end, even if some are more persistent than others.
At least the Tuatha won't be able to track you so easily now. But it looks like you've got the personal attention of their king, Gadflow. If you were anyone else, I'd suggest you start running and not stop for a few years. But you might just have a chance. You've blinded them here, and they haven't killed you yet. You're doing well, so far. But not all the Fae are your enemies. The High King of Summer Court wants to meet you. Without the Tuatha at your back, you should have no problem getting in. The King and I have a history. But not all of the Summer Fae will be happy to see me. I'll make my own way to Issa and meet you there. We should be able to get out this way.
Speak! Please place the Codex before him, and he will continue.
Grand as this is, I can't help but worry about you.
Conceived in chaos, birthed in stolen magic, torn from fate, child of two fathers, treacheries in treacheries, winter is broken. The puppet king upon his throne, drinking flattery and lies. The power that grows in him is not his own. In the east it did begin, as it will end. From behind the veil she screams. Madness and rage. Madness and rage. We realize this may be confusing for you. Fate, like the Fae, cannot be changed. But the Tuatha are Fae who have become something new. And you are a mortal who is free from Fate's weave. Gadflow claims that the Tuatha are the work of his new god. If the Tuatha are the creations of a god, what does that make you? The power of a god in the brash hands of a mortal. This is why Niralim fears what you might become. This age has seen much change. Change we once thought was impossible. We were wrong. That is how I understand it now. You are intertwined with the power in Alabastra. There can be no doubt of that. We do not know what will happen when you travel there, but we know that the power behind Gadflow is your ultimate goal. His god holds your answer, and the fate of this world. I thank you, and perhaps you can help change our world's fate as well. I have seen those who were destined to be heroes, for whom great deeds came naturally. They come, they act, and they pass on as written. You do great things not because you must, but because you choose to. That is by far a far truer greatness. Admirable, but strength of will cannot see you through this alone. You may be unbound by fate, But you are not free from death. Speak with your allies. Only with their aid can you hope to overcome the forces that stand against you.
I couldn't make out half of what the king was saying, but it sounds like you've got your work cut out for you. Good thing you won't be facing it alone. In fact, I think I've got a lead on finding an old friend of ours. Old Fomorous Hugues, of course. If anybody can help, it's bound to be the gnome who brought you back to life. I've been asking around and I was able to make contact with his superior. He thinks he might be able to help find Hugues. No, he's a crafty one. If he got away from those assassins in the lab, like you said, I'm sure he found someplace new to hide out. And if anyone's likely to know where he'd go to find safe haven, it'd be the Templar who sponsored his work. His name's Octien. Go southeast to the Hollowlands. Templar Octien will be waiting there to discuss how you might find Hugues. You're not the only one on the hunt for Hugues. Octien has followed his trail to the Hollowlands in Detir. You'll want to talk to him.
Who would have thought you were so interesting? Death seems to have worked out very well for you. Agarth's looking for escape, Neuralim's looking for a savior, and Tatarian is looking for a champion, and somehow, you're giving everyone what they want. I'm impressed. You're right. This won't be easy. The Tuatha have our forces under siege at Mel Senshir, and their power has only grown over the years. You'll need more help than just me and that old Fateweaver. You'll need an army. Gadflow awaits over mountainous walls, swampy forests, and roiling straits. Breaking the siege at Mel Senshir is the only way to reach him. But we are not alone in our fight. In the plains of Erethel, there is a player who has been away from this game for far too long. It is time to contact General Tilera. Meet me in the village of Emer. I will have more information for you there. Be on your way. Just give me a straight answer. Yes? Is the General still in the cradle of summer?
She is for as much good as it'll do her. But the cards don't lie. She'll never get that door open. Fate says it's so.
Yes. Well, then I suppose we'll just have to change fate, won't we? Thank you for coming all this way. I don't know if you heard that, but it sounds as if General Tilera is still here in exile. You're as quick as ever. Tilera is in the cradle of summer, banished from the battlefields of Mel Senshir until she can atone for her past. According to the Fateweaver here, she seeks an artifact from Ural Tusk that might break the siege and aid our forces. But she cannot do so alone, for poor Tilera is fated never to succeed. That is where you can help. Last I heard, General Tilera was somewhere in northern Erethel, searching for a way to turn the tide of the war. I think she took a squad to Ural Tusk. You should be just what the General's looking for.
Be careful around the General.
Hail. I am General Tilera ap Gwydion, former commander of the Eastern Alpha Forces. Surely you're not the aide Aelin Shear promised. She spoke as if she planned to send a whole squad of soldiers, not one faceless mercenary. Understood. But you wouldn't be the first person that Aelin Shear has used. Most of the time, you don't even know she's doing it. Not that I need any help in my misfortune. You see, all those who involve themselves with me soon face disaster. Such is the fate I have been dealt. The years have been long since I first learned of the means that might deliver Mel Senshir from the Tuatha. It lies in Ural Tusk, beyond a gate fated never to be opened, in a hall awash with Niskaru. Any who seek access to the ruin must face them. For all my years of research, I've only ever found one clue to this puzzle: when the great voices rise in song. It may refer to the wind stones scattered across the plains. They bear a striking resemblance to the stones of this ruin. but that's simply me grasping at answers. Take this chime. It is said to have been taken from the ruin during its construction many centuries ago. I've tried using it on the windstones with no luck. The inscription says the gate will open when the great voices rise in song. I think this means the windstones that are spread across Erethel. There's one just a little to the south. Go there and strike this chime near it. I'll stay here to see if it has any effect. The windstones are located all across the plains. You've done it. The ancient Irathi sealed this place centuries ago, and it opens to welcome you. Incredible. The piercing light should be in the deepest vault of these ruins. Be careful. The Niskara will do anything to keep us from that spear. The piercing light awaits. We're close now. I've heard that the spear is guarded by the Niskaru warrior Azagal. We will learn if it still is. I see the spear. The Niskaru were sure to press the attack. You must hold them off. I don't know what to feel. All the years I spent trying to claim this weapon, and I never truly thought I would. I was not fated to have it. Not until you came. You have thrown back the veil of fate and revealed what is truly possible. It's almost enough to make me believe in second chances. Yes, but it is so much more. This will end the siege of Mel Senshir. It will bring the death of the Baelor. It will give me my chance for redemption. And I never would have laid hands on it, if not for you. Kind words, but not true. My day will come when Baelor is dead at my feet, and I would be honored to have you beside me then, too. Meet me at Rathir, the city in the east. Together we will break the siege of Mel Senshir and turn the Tuatha tide. To get to Mel Senshir, we need to take a ship from Rathir, and that means convincing Elund Karth, the city's ruler. With the wards down, I think we can get out this way. We have a problem. Elund Karth refuses to send any troops to assist Mel Senshir. The old fool never would listen to reason. I certainly hope so. We're going to need every sword we can muster. You can find him in the upper city, staring over the strait at Mel Senshir. The fool might as well be at its funeral. They're in the city, but they can't join us unless Elund Karth grants his blessing for them to go with us. Agarth has gone to reason with him. He was a fine fighter, as I recall, but I do not know if his diplomacy is as practiced.
What do you want? I'm beset by petitioners these days. Another advocate for this absurd plan to retake Mel Senshir, I take it. Look to Rathir's sister across the strait. Her battered walls, her burned gardens, her back broken from a decade of war. We take in refugees. We send them food that we can spare. We try to ease her pain. But for 10 years I stood here and watched her die slowly. And now you, a stranger, think to convince me to commit the whole of this city to saving her because our army's greatest failure has recovered some old relic. Mel Senshir stands as Rathir's eastern shield. Even now, nearly broken, she still stands. This city can do nothing for the fortress, but perhaps its people can. The wounded we have here wish to return to fight for the fortress one last time. I'll tell them to meet you at the docks, and take this as well from my own collection.
May it be of use to you in the coming battle. Go to the eastern docks in the lower city and find Captain Dodwin. He will oversee your journey to Melsenshire.
You are my contact. I should have known. Punctuality is not one of your papal strengths, and you have so few. You may recall our mutual friend, Fomorous Hugues, the gnome who brought you back to life. I suspect you would, but I gather you've been quite busy. Well, Scholar Hugues has been missing since the attack on his tower. As his patron, I am quite concerned. I want you to find him. You are, how shall I say, uniquely suited to the task. Don't be obtuse. I am his patron. As such, I own everything that Scholar Hugues produces. I suppose that includes you as well. The secrets in his laboratories are meant for gnome eyes only. They must be controlled. At any cost. It would seem the incident in Alistar made Scholar Hugues a touch paranoid. Every time we receive a clue about his location, he vanishes before I can reach him. But he's running out of places to hide. It's my opinion that there's one hope left of finding Hugues. You. Fine. Satisfy your curiosity. As long as you keep Hugues safe, I will not stand in your way. Hugues has an old laboratory in the cavern of Saltwell Mines. I believe he's been conducting research there since the destruction of Alistar Tower. Find him, and you will be rewarded for your contribution to science. I will await your success in the Librarium in Edessa. He may have returned to his old laboratory in Saltwell Mines. But if any of my people approach, he'll flee. He's quite paranoid, for good reason.
Have I been down here so long? Is the madness so great that I see the faces of the damned before me? Or is it really you? It is! By the tome! Come closer. Let me look at you. It has been an eternity since I've seen a trusted face. Are you? In many ways, your awakening has brought me nothing but misery. But that is not your fault. I am to blame for all of it. Wait. Do you hear that sound? It could be the Sons of Laz, but it could be someone else. Last we spoke, it was the Tuatha that reduced my lab to cinders. Now it's assassins. Everywhere I go, destruction follows. I have grown so weary of it, my friend. All I ever wanted was to unlock death's secrets, to shed light on the shadows. I never wanted this. Thank you for more than just your protection, for being the one good thing to come of this disaster. I have few friends, but I gladly count you among them. I trust him with my life, which is why I've been trying to contact him since I fled Alistar, but to no avail. Where is he now that I need him most? Wait. Of course. He is the one I trust most, and the one who would benefit most from my death. I am a fool! Octien is behind the assassins, and now that you and I are together, he will try to kill us both. Why did I not see this before? If he could repair the Well of Souls in Alistar, then he has no need of me. Not if he has Ventrinio. No, not me. But Ventrinio's old notes suggest that he may know a way into Alabastra. I wonder, perhaps, is it possible that you have met Ventrinio already? That would explain it. You were attuned to his will, but raised from mine. Unfortunately, the only way to find Ventrinio is to go through Templar Octien, which will not be easy now that we know of his treachery. Octien is a powerful sorcerer with tremendous influence. If you attacked him outright, you would lose all credibility. We must play his game. The only one capable of dealing with Octien in Edessa will be another Templar. Luckily, we have one. Her name is Templar Joriel, and she is reputed for her wisdom and strength of character. She and Octien rarely see eye to eye on matters of policy. If Joriel can make Octien answer for his crimes, then we will gain access to his information. That includes the location of Ventrinio's lab. If you wish to uncover the mystery of your deaths, then you will need Ventrinio. He is the key to Alabastra. Find Templar Joriel in Edessa. We don't have much evidence, but I have a feeling she will help us. Oh, don't call it that. You're just having a talk with Octien in the library. In return for your discretion, he'll give us what we want. I know it's unpleasant, but when you work with the Templars, you just start thinking this way. It helps you stay alive.
Hold right there, newcomer. I welcome you to Edessa, but before you enter, I must catalogue your visit. Please answer the questions as truthfully as possible. It's imperative that our tallies be accurate. Now, what brings you to Edessa? Yes, well, at least you look more put together than some of the people that came here before you. Poor sods. With any luck, your errands go without incident. Now, where have you come to Edessa from? Fomorous Hugues? You mean to say you've come from Alistar? Yes, I see it now. They were wrong about your nose, but you match the description of the one I was to look out for. We can dispense with the remainder of my questions. You are free to enter Edessa. Sandstone Villa will serve as your lodgings. Temporarily. This is rare, newcomer. Very rare. If I can speak frankly, I'm not sure this is the blessing you take it to be. True, you have been saved from the squalid lodgings of the Hospitalis quarters. But Sandstone Villa is reserved for, well, it is not my place to speak of it. This key will provide you with access to the villa. You would do well to be very aware of your surroundings, stranger. Now, good day. Yes, go on.
Yes? What do you want? I am not in the habit of making conversation with strangers, especially one of your stature. Please be quick. I see. Think very, very carefully about what you are saying. Octien is a Templar. He is in a position of the highest authority. And who, may I ask, are you? For you to accuse Octien without having a direct confession is not only meaningless, but contrary to all our procedures. Make no mistake, stranger. If you initiate hostilities with a Templar, then you will become an enemy of the gnome state. Justice is pursued when a Templar confesses to his crimes. Then and only then. And Octien will confess to nothing, I assure you. I can do no more for you. Trouble me no further with this matter, especially when you have so little evidence. We have already discussed this. Nothing short of a confession would convict him. As such, Templar Octien...
Hello. I'm here to send regrets on behalf of Templar Joriel. While she wishes to extend you aid, she's stymied by protocol. What she gave you was an official response. I'm here to give you another response. A personal one. My superior has suspected for some time the crimes that you've levied against Templar Octien. But like you, she is frustrated by his status. Allow me to be direct. If you can make Templar Octien publicly acknowledge his crimes, then Templar Joriel will reward you. She will be your patron of sorts. You wish to bring the Templar to justice, yes? As my superior no doubt told you, that...
You're alive. What an unexpected and quite unfortunate turn of events. Did it? Here you stand, suspecting me of a great many crimes, yet unable to lift a finger. Tell me, who has the power? Or what? You'll slaughter me in a murderous rage? Typical. Your kind is as predictable as it is stupid. I'm afraid you'll find me quite hard to kill. Unfortunately, I cannot say the same for you. Attack me in this city, and I won't just have you clapped in irons. No, I'll hand you over to the scholars in the Basilica for research. The wise and the foolish both die. Is that justice? With the Well of Souls, I can change that. I can choose who deserves life. To think that yous gave away such a gift to you. Well, we've seen how you wasted your life. Perhaps I'll give Intrinio your corpse to examine. After all, you met your first death as his assistant. It would be a reunion. Of course. And it's such a pity you'll never find out.
If setting fire to the livrarium and hiring assassins is not an admission of guilt on Octien's part, I certainly don't know what is. It is clear that we Templars must make him assume responsibility for his actions, overt as well as hidden. Even though you went against my explicit instruction, you were effective. You have my respect. Should he survive the wounds earned in battle, I should think so. To that effect, I have ordered a moratorium on all of his current studies and projects. All, perhaps, save this mysterious Well of Souls. That one will take some deliberation, considering its various ethical and societal ramifications. Regardless, Gnome Society is in your debt, and we always pay what is owed. I'm afraid that's one promise I cannot make. Our society demands neutrality with regard to the war. But I've been told that while you were on the scaffolds, Scholar Hugues managed to salvage Octien's texts from the livrarium fire. He should arrive shortly. With any luck, he's discovered something that might be of use to you. Now, I must tend to Octien's affairs. Salutations. You again. What is it you require of me? You again. You can leave me to... What's needed?
It was my mistake to assume that Octien would go quietly, or that he would leave evidence behind. Such a waste. Some of those books he burned were centuries old, but luckily for us, I was able to salvage some from the flames. Oh, a great many prizes. Treatises on the nature of death, tables upon tables of autopsy analyses, but only one item of true value. Octien's diary. Based off of what I've read in these pages, Ventrinia has been working on an island off of Cluricon. I'm afraid the dark wood of Cluricon still hides our Tuatha enemies. But this young lady, Ailyn Shear, says she has a solution for that. When you reach Ventrinia, beware. He is certainly a genius, but complicated. He may try killing you the second time for good measure. His mind may be dangerous, but it holds the secret to entering Alabastra, and you must find it. Oh, I will. In fact, I believe I'll be staying in Edessa to offer what support I can. With Octian out of the way, the people will be needing a new Templar, after all. You carry a grave responsibility now, my friend.
Hey, you know, before I met you, I swore to myself that my fighting days were behind me. After fighting nearly all my life, it was one of the hardest things I've had to do. But now you've taken me this far. If I don't take these next steps on my own, I don't think I ever will.
The ships are loading now for Melsenshire. Are you ready to board? Right away.
Agarth, you know better than any of us how this will end. Why must we fight a war that you know we will not win?
You would still ask that, Talara, after all you've seen.
Until I get an answer, Fateweaver. Until then.
Why do we fight? Because there is hope. Because only through battle can we break the chains that fate has forged. Don't you see? We have been given a chance. And though some of us will die, we will die knowing that our lives were finally our own. That we are no longer slaves to the whims of fate. Would you throw it away? Just for fear of another defeat? Not I. I will fight. And if I die knowing that I have made a choice. And this choice, for good or for ill, was my own.
This is all the help we get.
Come on, the commander's waiting for us. Commander O'Wyglen wants to talk before we leave. Witch Knight Malwyn and his forces bested me 10 years ago, and I've been preparing myself since then. If I'm not ready now, then I don't deserve another chance.
Not exactly the heroes of legend, but you're a welcome sight nonetheless. Likely you've come to see the fortress before it falls. I've seen her stand for the last 10 years, but the end, I think, has finally come. Our scouts report that the Tuatha are massing, and in their wake we've seen it. The Niskaru Lord, Baelor, has come for Melsenshire at last. Baelor could tear through our walls like parchment. Our only hope is to ambush before they can bring him forward, and take the Tuatha by surprise. While our forces delay Baelor, you and Talera will be sent to hunt the Witch Knight Malwyn. It's likely that he will hold the Baelor sway during the battle. We can't best their army in the open field. My hope is with Malwyn dead, the Baelor will turn on the Tuatha. It is little more than a wish, but that's all we have. Soon. I know you're eager, but take a moment to make sure you're ready. Check your gear and say your goodbyes. When you're ready, come meet me by the gates. I'll be readying the troops.
I hope you're ready for what lies ahead. This is no time to make jokes. These people are scared, and your chances are slim, with or without that spear. Melsenshire's fate was sealed long ago. You may be able to change that, but the Tuatha aren't taking any chances. Prepare to fight, and be ready to die. Be on you. You didn't think I'd miss this, did you?
Steel yourselves. The battle is not to be taken lightly. Then let us go. We've had sightings of the Tuatha vanguard. When they enter the courtyard, we will open the gates and counterattack. You and Talera will use the distraction to execute your plan. One way or another, this will be over soon.
Hore Sonera Alfor! Our hunt for Malwyn can now begin in earnest. I will take one path and you another. If a Wygland's troops hold, then Malwyn will be delayed at the outer wall with the Balor. But we should make sure he doesn't get past us. Now, we must get moving. There is no room for error.
We can't let those Tuatha reach our archers. Go! I hope we'll be there to see it. If not, then we'll know we did our best. Now get going.
Chance before they can regain control of the creature. Ah! Theoden, guide my hand. For Rathir! This ends here!
They're gone! After 10 years, I can't believe they're finally gone! We lost many, but we all knew the risk. I almost joined them. The Tuatha had my back against the outer wall when there was this flash of light. I looked up, and all I saw was the silhouette of you on top of that beast. It was the most glorious sight of my life. But I never saw the General. I'd like to personally thank her. Then the rumors of her dishonor will finally be silenced. She gave everything to us in the end, and the world will know that. When we rebuild these walls, we'll name them after General Talera. Her memory will stand as long as the ramparts shine. But she never would have been here had you not delivered her to us. It can never be enough, but we hope you'll accept this as our thanks. There won't be any parades until the war is won. Tuatha still hold most of Cluricon, and over the years, they've infected every part of these swamps. Clearing them out isn't going to be easy, but we might have help. There are rumors of a small band of fighters harassing the Tuatha. Perhaps the hero of Mel Senshir can convince them to work with us. Good luck. Our soldiers are doing their best out there, but it's still a nightmare. Watch out for those red-eyed bastards.
Allies can come from the strangest places.
Off into the swamps, I assume? None that would be of any help. After a decade of Tuatha control, they've all gone quiet. But if there are any out there, I'm sure they'll be looking for you. Just keep your eyes open. After all, you'll be in their swamp. Be on your way.
Any luck out there? They're fighting the Tuatha, right? Since you're the one who defeated Witch Knight Malwyn, I suspect they'll be looking to find you. I'll meet you in Mel Senshir.
It is a pleasure to meet the Siegebreaker. Especially here, in a land where pleasure has been all too rare. I am Sidon the Outcast, Prince in exile of the House of Sorrows. I'm here to welcome you to our home. I see the hesitation in your eyes. Although I am Fae of the Winter Court, you and I have a common enemy. Indeed, you accomplished a great feat here. But the Tuatha Deohn are far from defeated. Before striking the heart, you must trim the fat and cleave through the bones. If you wish to put an end to Gadflow's reign, meet my brethren and me at Foe's Hearth to the east, and we can talk further there. I'd rather not talk here. Cluricon is filled with Tuatha spies. Travel to the old ruins at Foe's Hearth. We'll meet you inside and we can talk there. Be careful.
So few of the Winter Court left to stand against. You go ahead. It's been some time since Sidon and I had a chance to talk.
Indeed, Agarth. I hear on the winds that you laid down your sword and drowned yourself in drink when you learned the ways of fate. And yet here you are, sword in hand, again the victor. How is this? Do the winds lie to me?
It's a long tale. It started when I sobered up long enough to go bury a friend of mine in Alistar Tower. Or rather, that's what I had planned to do.
It is agreeable to see you, Siegebreaker. Cluricon can be inhospitable at times, as the Tuatha have learned. We've made sure of it. Destroying the Tuatha, of course. They've corrupted our court and sullied our lands, and we shall have our vengeance. We are the bitter frost, the last few remnants of free Winter Fae. We have refused to bend knee to Gadflow or his god. But still, the once noble houses of sorrow, pride, and vengeance have all fallen under Gadflow's sway. Until they're freed, the Tuatha's ranks will continue to swell with the faithful. Blind him, cut out his tongue, draw the venom from our land. Only then shall we be free. The Tuatha have built Prismia chantries across Cluricon. From here, Gadflow rallies the faithful, preaches the word of Tirnoch, and corrupts our land. You've already begun to disrupt his ability to infect this land. Without Gadflow to guide them, the Tuatha in Cluricon will be disorganized and scattered. When this is done, we will take you to Ventrinio. He can help you breach Alabastra. There are 3 of them, to the south and east. Kill their guards, then smash their crystals and be done with them. Gadflow will try to stop you, but it's just a harmless projection. He can't hurt you. At least, not directly. Gadflow's voice has fallen silent in this land. The Tuatha are frightened and disorganized. They run back to Alabastra to make their final stand. We owe you much. Our eyes are opened and our blades unsheathed. Cluricon is won, but the House of Pride stands between us and the final goal. We are now free to press forward. And I can take you to an old friend who knows the next step. Yes, we will take you to his filthy tower on the island of Danistar. He hides within, and has not emerged in some time. I would like nothing more than to let him rot there. But he knows of a way past the sentinel of the House of Pride. But there will be more danger on the path ahead. Take these blades to prepare for whatever troubles you will face at his tower or beyond. I'd gladly collect the hearts of every Tuatha, but even I can't find a way through their defense at the House of Pride. Only Ventrinio can do that. We can leave from a darkened tree in the Caelid coast to the southwest. Aelin Shear will join us there. Together, we will walk the shadow to his tower. We will meet again at the shadowed tree on the Caelid coast.
Walking through living shadow, eh? I'll leave that one to you. No, I think you can handle that one by yourself. I have some work to do with the army in Cluricon.
The Tuatha are on the run. Good work. Plus, it's much more pleasant here without Gadflow bellowing at me from all corners. But enough pleasantry. Are you prepared for your reunion with Ventrinio? Just make sure he lives long enough to get us into Alabastra. Once that's done, it's none of my business. Of course, this is bound to be informative. I'm just disappointed I never had a chance to see the original Well of Souls. Just as Hugues thought, Ventrinio used the same wards from their old lab. This'll be quick. Follow me and be careful. The Laz are coming from somewhere in here. Here's where we part ways. I'll stop the Laz at the stairwell. You get upstairs and retrieve Ventrinio. Shouldn't be hard to find him. Keep moving up and follow the cowardly shrieking. I'll hold this staircase. Move!
Took your time. Gods damn it! Ever since the Balor was defeated, the Chaos magic sent the well off its alignment. You show up, and now the Laz are... Wait. What? It's you. You're alive. But I saw you die. You can't be serious. This is my life's work. Don't you remember what we went through to build this? Why, you even got yourself killed in Alabastra for this. We had more than enough Prismere, but you wanted to track down the power source behind it all, even if it meant sneaking right under Gadflow's nose. I spent days trying to recover your body, but I never expected to find you alive, or for you to return. Speaking of which, how did you return anyway? Not important. Not important. What happened to you? You were so eager to be attuned to this well, and now it's not important? The well is coming down around us, and you don't even care. Ah! I've got to slow the energy and shut this thing down. We'll have time to catch up afterwards, and... Oh, damn it all! Here they come! Hold them off! The Laz are here! Hold them off while I try to stop the flow of energy to the well. All my work gone. Damn it all! But at least we're still alive. Once again, I triumph over death itself. Going back into Alabastra, Well, I still have a way in, but it's more dangerous now than the last time we went. I'll need more Prismere if I'm to rebuild the well, and I suppose I owe you something for saving my life. Perhaps this talisman can help you. It's a little something I salvaged from the debris. It might just help against whatever killed you the first time. We got in with a little help, of course. See, it's all because of Callous Dren, the defender of pride. In his house, no one can stand before him. None can even approach, unless you have my little secret. Patience, patience. You'll have it soon enough. I'm going to have to dig it out of the rubble of the tower. Go to the field of Huber, and I'll meet you there. And if you value your life, do not approach Dren. Get going.
I'll keep an eye on them.
Turn back or die. I know your intentions are to free my people from the Tuatha. You seem an honorable sort. But I have sworn an oath to defend my house and homeland. I cannot let you in without a fight, and you cannot win against me. If only things could be different. You have 5 seconds to flee.
Army.
You haven't tried going in there, have you? No, of course you haven't. You're still alive. This took a little longer to find than I had hoped, but it should be exactly what you need. Dren had a twin in the Summer Court, Dith the Defender of Valor. They were both entirely immune to each other's power. She faded when the House of Valor fell, but my early experiments with the Well of Souls provided a quite useful little surprise. You see, when trying to draw life energy from the ether, I captured her essence and bound it into this charm. With this, you will be immune to Dren's power. Now be fair. Fae don't have souls as mortals do. They are a form of magic with a physical form. And I only got a little of it anyway. Just enough for a certain degree of immunity to Dren's power. It only works for one person, but it'll be enough for you to reach him. Trouble is, he'll be immune to your power as well. But I'm sure you can think of something. Now, go show that defender what I...
Turn back or die. Then you shall die like the others before you. I made an oath to protect my house and my homeland. No power short of death can keep me from fulfilling my duties. I know your intentions are to free my people from the Tuatha. You seem an honorable sort. You even bear the blessing of my sister. But I have sworn an oath to defend my house and homeland. I cannot let you in without a fight, and you cannot win against me. If only things could be different. If only the Tuatha were gone and my sister was back. Now, enough. We could fight each other until the mountains wear away, but that will aid nothing. My sister and I were chosen to protect our kind. So long as our houses stood, the Fae would never pass from this world. I in pride, and she in valor. We never imagined that our houses could crumble beneath our feet. Mortals led to the collapse of my sister's house, but with Gadflow's help, they shall not have mine. He may taint pride with his Prismere and his obscene god, but it will keep us eternal. I cannot yield, but if your true intent is to stop Gadflow, then perhaps there is a way my house and my honor could remain pure. If you would promise to spare the House of Pride, then we could put aside our powers and have an honest battle. Win, and your army may pass. If this is the only way to secure a chance for my house's untainted survival, then so be it. If you should win, then destroy the Tuatha in my house and the hateful witch knight Myrna. Then we can be truly free.
Until one night, when nature changed its course, and Gadflow...
You did it! You actually beat him! Guess I owe Ventrinio a drink. A promise is a promise, and the Witch Knights of Pride would be powerful allies to have on our side. I'll send a few soldiers along to help. Meanwhile, I'll get the other troops ready to move into Alabastra once that gate opens.
Halt! Parley and if you would be so kind as to have a word with us. I have been chosen by the remaining members of our house to speak for all. We were most honored by your intention to free us. Loath as we are to get our hands dirty in this scuffle, perhaps we can offer a more indirect assistance. Simply carry forth and destroy Witch Knight Myrna, and her dreadful Prismere Chantry, of course. We eagerly anticipate your success.
Well done, child of dust. You've killed the immortal defender and liberated a house full of arrogant backstabbers. I should thank you for exposing the disloyal amongst my kin. But then, I have so much to thank you for. Pride? Their betrayal was inevitable. But soon you faced the House of Vengeance, and their loyalty to Tirnoch is absolute. Pure. Instinct. The goddess of mercy awakens. And with every step you take into my homeland, she comes that much closer to walking our world and purging your kind. So, welcome to Alabastra. It shall be the death of you once more.
We have seen our champion bested, our advantage lost, and our minds are cleared. Bravo to you, champion. House of Pride, in our ineffable wisdom, renounces the Tuatha and demands that you accept our immediate surrender. Your army is welcome here. We trust our benevolence will be well remembered should Gadflow be dethroned. We thank you kindly, and our mages have already been assisting your army in their march into Alabastra. We trust you do not object. Most excellently spoken. You have the commanding presence of a young Aegon, who once also bore the pleasure of our august company. Allow us to welcome you to Alabastra. We trust your visit will be eventful.
The House of Pride opened its gates and welcomed us as honorary champions. They say it's simple hospitality, but I suspect we have you to thank. Now is the difficult part. We can hold Cluricon, even push a little into Alabastra, but we don't have the forces to mount a siege on Gadflow. Where armies have been fated to fail, you have the chance to succeed. But you won't be alone. The army will secure a base at the mouth to Alabastra. Meanwhile, the 5 of us will split up and infiltrate quick and quiet as we can. Meet at the House of Vengeance, on Gadflow's doorstep. From there, we strike at Bale, the heart of his empire. More than you'd think. But I promise I'll explain it all to you. Maybe once Gadflow's dead. I'll see you in Alabastra.
Hope you've got better luck this time, eh? I need to talk with you, but not here. I'll find you in Alabastra. I've put together a few facts about your death, and I think I know something grave. But not here. I don't want to cause a panic. I'll give them the slip and talk with you a little later.
We're not going to stop Gadflow by just standing here and chatting. Lead the way. I'll meet you at the House of Vengeance. I'll see you at the House of Vengeance.
Agarth will not be far behind you. Neither of us saw any sign of Aelin Shear or Ventrinio. A scout on the ridge above saw the Tuatha mounting for a counterattack. You should hear what he has to say before we move on. If you'd rather not wait, talk with Agarth. Time is of the essence. Agarth, if he tells you he's ready, then my people are as well. Of course, if you wish to proceed with caution, the scout on the ridge will know what we're up against. Careful. This is worse than I feared.
There you are. Good to see you here. Ready? I am. But there hasn't been any sign of Aelin Shear or Ventrinio. Damn it all, I knew we couldn't trust her. You're right. At least now I don't need to worry about when she's going to betray us. Just how she already has. Right now, we just need to get through the House of Vengeance and kill the Cur. No. Whatever Gadflow is doing in there, it's growing with every wasted minute. Even if Aelin didn't betray us, we don't have time to wait. Listen, you're more powerful than I ever was. If anyone can stop this, it's you. When you kill Cur, go into Bale and stop Gadflow. If we get separated, we'll keep fighting to keep an escape route open for you. Now go. Stay on guard.
My deepest apologies for not being able to join the battle. Ventrinio was something of a hassle. He attacked me. It was only a matter of time before his greed got the better of him. The closer we got to Bale, the more obsessed he became with Tirnoch, and with harnessing Tirnoch's power, just like Gadflow did. That's why he had to be stopped, and why we need to talk about our mission. I wasn't sure I could trust you. You're not the same person you used to be. We're running out of time. I'll explain as we go. Lead on. I'm right behind you. Last time you came, this must have been a lot for you to take in at once. But I need you to be clear on who you are and what you need to do. A lot has changed since you were here last. It isn't going to be as easy this time. And last time it killed you. If you only think you're ready, then you're not the same cocky bastard that I used to work with. Just make sure you do the job right this time. You can't count on having a third life. And it'd be a shame to lose the woman you've become. Ha! I have more important things to do than love. And so do you. But I do trust you with the fate of my world. It may not set your heart aflutter to hear it, but it'll have to do. Lead on. I'm right behind you.
You don't understand, do you? The power of Tirnoch. Yes! Return to your grave! Tirnoch, lend me your power!
Something's not right. If Gadflow isn't here, then he must be hiding further underground, someplace closer to the source of the Prismere. You needn't try to impress me, you know. Not anymore. Besides, we don't have time. Whatever bargain Gadflow made with Tirnoch, it's about to pay off. And when that happens, the world will suffer her wrath. She's imprisoned deep in the Amethyn, but Gadflow's war has weakened her bonds. There's no time to spare. If she gets free, our world is lost. This way. Tirnoch is held captive deep in the Amethyn, but her prison is weakening by the moment.
I feel you here again, full of life, full of fate. What have you brought for me?
Tirnoch awakens. We need to move.
You've used your power well. So much potential. Let's have a taste, shall we?
She just tore out a part of the fates you've stolen and turned it against you. Perhaps it is not inaccurate to think of her as a god. Only you have the power to reseal Tirnoch inside the Amethyn. I must keep the secret of her existence from the world. Once Tirnoch is pushed back into her prison, these caverns must be sealed. But that leaves one question. Can I trust you to keep Tirnoch's secret? That is excellent. After all that you've done, it would have been a shame for you to die a second time. If you do escape, I will be watching you. And know this, anyone who learns the truth of what happens here, I will silence myself. Go. Stop Tirnoch from fully entering this world. But remember, my blades will always be at your back. Nothing in the world is fated to stop Tirnoch. That's why you're the only one who has a chance. I'm just here to make sure you take it. Let's go.
Come, Fateweaver. Bring me your power. Sacrifice yourself and seal the fate of your world.
Amethyn lies beyond. This is where the dragon will breach the veil.
Come forward, mortals. Behold the birth of Tirnoch. Attend your final hour.
My fate does not lie beyond those doors. You alone may change what is to come. Go!
Welcome back, mortal. How does it feel, I wonder, to return to this place? Does the pain of your death still linger? Can you feel it echo through the air? And now, in this place, you shall witness the birth of Tirnoch, the destruction of the Alpha, and the dawn of the endless winter. She comes. Tirnoch the powerful, Tirnoch the merciful. Qualla fella Tirnoch. Qualla sera Tirnoch! Tirnoch? Have I done well, lady? Are you pleased? Is it that
You have served your purpose.
But I have so much more to give.
And now, Fateless One. You shall serve yours. Come closer. Give yourself to me. The destruction of this world is the first step on my path. Yes! Struggle! Fight! And die, just as you did before. All that you know shall crumble and fall before me. Impossible!
How could we have known that this would be a new beginning? I wonder now if we should have foreseen this outcome, but who knew then what fate would bring? I would have liked to have delivered this message in person, to see you one final time. That, however, would have been complicated. The order to which I belong had other plans. Were you ever to leave the crystalline fortress? When it comes to you, though, it seems no fate is written in stone. It was only through my assurances that your silence could be counted upon that either one of us still draws breath. I trust you will not make of me a liar. Were stories of what we have seen to begin to surface in the inns and taverns of Amalur, I would be asked to seek you out. And as we both know, the next time you die, there will be no return. But let us not speak of this. Your life is your own. Go now, and see what fate may bring you, or what fate you may bring. Perhaps one day in happier times, you and I will meet again. Until that day, I remain yours, Aelin Shear.
Well, well, awake at last. You gave us quite a scare. But you're here and the war's all but over. So who are we to complain? I was hoping you could tell us. Sidon and I were fighting a few remaining stragglers when all of a sudden they started this unholy wailing. I guess you must have killed Gadflow, because the Tuatha started screaming and ran away. There are still a few diehards, but they don't have the fire in them, you know? Wasn't much longer before Aelin showed up carrying you over her shoulder. Told me to watch over you, make sure you were okay. She left some kind of note for you, but I know better than to read a private message from the likes of her. Yes, you did. You had an army at your back, but in the end, it was you who defeated Gadflow. But there's something you ought to know. A lot of the soldiers asked me for readings after the fighting ended. And, try as I might, I can't see a fate for any of us. Good? Perhaps. Freedom is a blessing, and a curse. If fate truly no longer holds sway over us, only time will tell if it is for good or ill. But regardless of what happens, Amalur and its people remain because of you. And no matter where your path leads, Never forget, a person is defined by his actions. Who you are is up to you, and you alone. Go, my friend. Enjoy this world and all of its splendors. You've earned it.